position. He needs to tech up. He needs to go to, I would imagine, Speedling Infestor or even Roach Hydra, or maybe not Hydra, maybe just Roach, and get up to Hive Tech eventually, get some Ultralisk down. He's actually getting a Baneling's Nest though. I'm not quite sure I agree with this. Obviously, Drewbie here is getting a bunch of barracks down. So I suppose the Banelings will be good against the infantry. But IdrA just kind of guessing. He didn't even see the barracks going down. For all he knew, it could have been just mass mech from the Terran player, but he is getting a Baneling's Nest, so that should be able to deal with the infantry quite well. He's getting Carapace for his Zerg units right now, and really right now he needs to tech up. He needs to get to Hive, get some Broodlords, or get some Ultralisks out. That would be such a huge bolster to his arsenal of Zerg array of units, and right now he's just got a huge flock of mutas, but they are just so worthless against the Thors and missile turrets. So we're still waiting to see what's going to happen in this game. We have vehicle weapons level 1 coming from the armory. We have centrifugal hooks coming for the Banelings. A lot of upgrades, Stimpack shields. So really, Drewbie right now transitioning into a very heavy infantry-based build, and he's going to face a lot of Banelings with that speed upgrade. Could be very deadly for him. I almost wish he had just stuck with mech. And right now the mutas are just kind of chilling here to the south. IdrA's just waiting to find the right time to fly in here and do maximal damage to all these SCVs. And I think he's just waiting for Drewbie to push out. When Drewbie pushes out, he's going to leave this entire main base exposed to all of these mutas. Meanwhile, a lot of Speedlings and Banelings being morphed in back home for the Zerg player IdrA. He's also getting Carapace level 2, vehicle weapons level 2 being researched right now. The muta still kind of just chilling here. Is IdrA going to use his Mutalisk and fly in there to do some damage? I'm not quite sure what he's waiting for. Meanwhile, the Terran mech has pushed forward, starting to break away these rocks. Obviously, Drewbie wants to make that his new entrance. Creep still being spread from IdrA, and we're still waiting to see what's going to happen. IdrA keeping up with his economy, currently at 3 bases, also getting his infestation pit, obviously to tech up to Hive, possibly even get for possibly even getting that for Neuroparasite. And we still have the Banelings and Zerglings morphing in, so both players still in this intense heat of macro mode. It looks like Drewbie wants to secure this gold though. He's going to push out with his army. He's currently at 139 supply. He has +1 weapons for his infantry, +1 weapons for his mech. Looks like the mutas though have pushed inward. They are just gonna, so many mutas just gonna annihilate that Thor. That's enough mutas to actually just demolish everything on the ground, and it looks like the second Thor could go down as well. Drewbie, realizing he's in a lot of trouble from all of these mutas, is trying to run his Marines back, get him back in position, also trying to build up as many turrets as he can. That was a great strike attempt from IdrA, taking out 2 Thors as well as a siege tank, so very nice play. I don't think he lost very many mutas at all. 166 supply for IdrA to 135. And ladies and gentlemen, we are gearing up for what seems to be a very long-term macro game. Neither player is being aggressive right now. Both players want to secure as many expansions as they possibly can, trying to saturate it in every position possible. But oh my goodness, look at this massive flood of Zerglings all running in. The planetary fortress is nearly done though, but it looks like the Speedlings are just going to run right by and go right into the mech. But all these tanks from above in the high ground, along with the planetary fortress, is just demolishing these Zerglings. I think IdrA just threw away all of his Zerglings. He did kill some of the mech, but I'm not quite sure how worth it that was. But meanwhile, the mutas killing off a Thor, so that was a nice 2-pronged attack from IdrA, running in here with his Mutalisks when the Speedlings were distracting the Terran force to the north. So IdrA, nice control, nice play with his Mutalisks, keeping himself in this game and not allowing the Terran player to max out a 200-200. A Terran player at max is just impossible to stop for a Zerg player, and it looks like more Speedlings gonna run in here and surround these Thors. These Thors' days are numbered, along with the Mutalisks flooding in here. Oh, the Thors are getting real close to dying. The Marines trying to run in here to save the last Thor, and the Thor stays alive. It looks like IdrA there lost a lot of his Mutalisks as well. So I'm not quite sure if that was the best trade. He still has more Banelings, more Zerglings morphing in, currently at 121 supply, so he really lost a lot of his Mutalisks fighting those Marines and those Thors. He is also getting a 4th expansion up right now, and Drewbie, he needs to make a push happen. He cannot allow the Zerg player to get all these expansions. The Marines trying to get away from the Banelings. They stim to run away, but the Banelings catching up with that speed from the creep bonus, and the Banelings, oh my goodness, so many Marines getting taken out. The Mutalisks falling from behind to pick off the air, and Drewbie right now, he needs to make something happen, because you guys can see on that production tab the dreaded final evolution in the Zerg arsenal. The Ultralisk is on the way. The chitinous plating is being researched, as well as adrenal glands. So IdrA here really sticking to maximum Terran melee, or Zerg melee, getting Carapace level 2. Should be getting level 3 pretty soon, along with melee weapons. And he's just got so much map control right now compared to Drewbie. Drewbie needs to make something happen. He is on 3 bases. He's actually securing his 4th, whereas IdrA is also on 4 bases as well. So really, both players still even economically, but I still think that Drewbie lacks map control right now. He's been playing defensively all game long. He needs to push out and recede the creep a little bit, put some pressure on IdrA, because you guys all know IdrA at full macro mode is just a monster, and really it's just kind of unstoppable. First Ultralisk coming out here, actually a couple of Ultralisks coming out here, and when that chitinous plating finishes, along with melee weapons level 3, that is just going to be really hard for the Terran player to stop. Luckily for Drewbie, he does have some Marauders, so he's transitioning to get some Marauders to deal with the Ultras. He's also got +2 weapons for his infantry, as well as +2 weapons for his mech, so he's not in the worst position possible. But here we go. Looks like the Lings and Banelings and Ultra gonna run into the gold expansion. They're trying to fight down this planetary fortress. A lot of the Banelings running in there and taking out several SCVs. I like that play from IdrA, running in there, and his main goal right there was just to explode some Banelings on the SCVs. It was not to engage a Terran player, so nice play right there, whittling down the Terran's economy. 55 under 67, a 5th base going up for IdrA, now securing the gold expansion right now to the eastern side of the map. And this game is getting real epic, ladies and gentlemen. Notice all the Ultralisks for IdrA, +4 armor. This is just, it's gonna come down to one massive battle. And Drewbie, he needs to actually max out his army. He's at 153. He's pushing forward with some of his forces. Looks like he wants to go straight for the main. And if he can take out the Ultralisk cabin or even the hive, that would be a huge hit to IdrA. But my goodness, IdrA has so many Ultras along with Mutas. This is, oh my god, I don't think Drewbie has enough to deal with this massive Zerg force. Currently maxed. IdrA is maxed, and he's banking resources. Every minute he waits, he is just banking. He's even distance mining the gold minerals right now. 200 for IdrA. And Drewbie is approaching max as well. He really does need to wait to max out before he pushes out. But it looks like he's going to try to get some map control, something that he's been needing all day long. All the Ultras going to run in here, and the Marauders stimming up. Marauders thankfully do so much damage against Ultras, but so do Ultras against Marauders as well as mech. And it looks like IdrA just going to push forward with his massive army along with the Mutas to provide some air support. The Ultra's just going to crush all of the Terran metal, and Drewbie's dropping down to 112 supply. IdrA staying at 176, and obviously using his banked resources to continue the macro. He still hasn't gotten any melee weapons, which is kind of surprising, considering he's been committed to all of this massive Zergling, Baneling, and Ultras. His main is mined out, his natural is near mining out. He has got one base here, and of course the gold starting to mine. Looks like IdrA gonna push forward, but he is facing all these bunkers. Not sure if this is the best position for IdrA to push against, along with the tanks and Thors doing a lot of damage to these expensive Ultras, and a lot of them falling right there. IdrA there kind of just threw away a lot of his forces, and oh my goodness, IdrA is definitely angry at the fact that he is facing the Terran wall. But honestly, he's got so many bases right now. He just needs to max out. He needs to try to... I would honestly like to see him destroy these rocks to the back and flood in from behind. He needs to pincer the Terran army. You can never fight a Terran